In the first video, I talked about being present in a world full of distractions, which can help with the overwhelm that we feel. I shared how distractions and overwhelm are a natural part of life and how they are increasingly interfering with our ability of being present and in the moment, along with the consequences that they bring. If you haven't watched the first video, I encourage you to do that. But in this two-part series, I'll discuss the benefits of living in the moment and give you actual tips for how to live in the present, to live in the moment. According to a Harvard University study, it was shown that almost half of our waking hours are spent not living in the moment. I guess I found that pretty surprisingly and kind of sad. I think we can do better than that. We've all experienced the phenomenon of being somewhere in body but not in the mind, right? We humans are so good at that, going throughout our days on autopilot. We think and act unconsciously or habitually without the conscious awareness of what or why we are doing it. The problem with that is we become disconnected from what is happening in our lives at that precise moment. Think about all we are missing out on because we're distracted or overwhelmed. What we should do and can do is turn the autopilot off and take the wheel ourselves. Have you ever heard of mindfulness? Yes? No? Maybe so? Mindfulness is the practice of being present in the moment. You will find there are times you are present and in the moment where you don't have to make a conscious decision to do so. But usually it's because you are doing something that is really important to you. So it takes very little to no effort to be completely engaged. Other times you have to make a concerted effort to stay focused. It's about choice, choosing to be present in spite of the many things competing for your attention is a choice you have the ability to make. But why is being present minded so important? When you're not there, you don't know that you're not there. Think about that sentence for a minute. When you're not there, you don't know you're not there. Unfortunately, much of our time is spent either in the past or in the future instead of in the present. And while you can spend time thinking about what happened yesterday or what could happen tomorrow, precious seconds of your life at that moment are slipping by unobserved and appreciated. That's how life ends up passing us by. Now, let's look at some other reasons why being present is important, and then we move on to how to be present. Here are the benefits of living in the moment. There are 5 benefits. One is it keeps you grounded and more connected with your thoughts and feelings, as well as everything around you. 2, it equips you to have healthier and more successful relationships. 3, it helps you develop an attitude of gratitude. I've always loved that saying. Appreciating each blessing that comes your way that may have been overlooked by not being present. Number 4, it builds inner peace and strength, helping you to handle the thoughts and emotions that otherwise would create anxiety, depression, and negative states of mind. And finally, number 5, it reduces stress, which can be harmful to your health. So now we just have to figure out how to live in the moment so we can experience all the benefits listed above. It really boils down to 5 words you know. We have to pay attention. That's 5, right? Of course, like with most things, that is easier said than done, right? With so many distractions or feelings of overwhelm, both internal and external, the need is there to develop a plan to avoid them. The good news is with intentionality and practice, it can be done. So let me give you some tips for living in the moment. Ready? Here we go. Train your brain to focus on the current activity before you. Do one thing at a time and do it well. Enjoy the process. Bring your mind back each time it tries to sneak off. Take a deep cleansing breath and refocus. I think that cleansing breath it's your cue to kind of go, back here, focus on what's in front of you. Turn off the mental chatter by tuning into your senses, sight, sound, smell, feel, and taste. You can become more aware of what is in front of you instead of thoughts kind of rolling around in your head. Turn off technology. Give it a deliberate rest. Be intentional about it. Don't be afraid of silence. And finally, take time to savor the experiences in your life. Whether you're eating, working, driving, reading, people watching, whatever, slow down and savor each and every moment. I know it's impossible to live in the moment 24/7. After all, the world we live in doesn't exactly allow for that. But like I said earlier, surely we can do better than what the Harvard study showed. So, where has your mind been lately? Have you been overwhelmed and distracted? Do you feel disconnected from yourself, your family, your relationships? Do you feel trapped by the past or fearful of the future? You can't live life fully if your mind is somewhere else. Teach yourself to be in the moment. Choose to be in the moment. Learn to be in the moment. I wish you well. And if you're feeling you need help learning to be in the moment, check out the many free things as well as coaching services we offer at myanxietylink.com.